Welcome back to part 3 now of my micro collection video in the house where I first got some of these toys for Christmas of whatever pre 1983 year of the 80s it was. So I showed these just briefly. This is the Death Star. There were 2 Death Star playsets, and just like all the other micro collection, they were modular, so you could attach them in different ways. And then this is the first time in at least 15 years that I put the gun back in the Death Star. So, or you could have Obi-Wan going out here to work on the tractor beam projector, if that'll stay. Caught it. Dropped it, but I caught it. There we go. And then that would allow some things to attach better. Alright, so Death Star, we've seen most of Hoth now, and we saw all of Bespin. And that's pretty much where my collection stayed for many years. But a couple of days before I turned 23, I did start working, and I had some money. So I kind of, wanted to touch up and cherry out some of my vintage toy collection. One of the gaps in my collection was a vehicle for the micro collection line that I hadn't gotten because it was a JCPenney exclusive, if I remember correctly. I also didn't have the snow speeder to go with this collection. So let's look at the snow speeder first, which came with, oh, look, his gun just poked right through the bag. All right, little Hoth snow speeder. Oh man, I can see at least one sticker that was applied upside down. I got this secondhand, so I didn't apply these myself. I wonder if that ever bugged me before. So again, like the X-Wing, it has a break apart feature that makes it look crashed, which is fitting because you crash more snow speeders in the movie than you do X-Wings. But anyway, so then it just goes back together, and you've got space in there for a pilot and a co-pilot, or a pilot and a gunner. So, and you've got the harpoon that moves. We've also got a functional landing gear. So very similar to the full-size one for the 3 3/4 inch figures. But no lights and sound. Kind of interesting though, because if the rationale was we want to make bigger play sets and we want to make vehicles, so therefore we're making the figures smaller, the vehicles that they've done all do exist in the 3 3/4 inch line. So, but yeah, imagine how cost prohibitive the Hoth Ion Cannon playset would have been if it was 4 times larger than this. And then the crown jewel of the collection. And I can tell you that I definitely got this in 1993 because shortly after I started working at Red Lobster in Florence, Alabama, I was invited to work at the Red Lobster in Decatur when it was first built. Which is about 45 minutes away. And I went down there as opening team, as a trainer. And this looks very much like the Kenner Falcon, the 3 3/4 inch Falcon, but it does have a couple of features that one lacks, including the elevator here for Lando to rescue Luke on the top. That was not on the 3 3/4 inch Millennium Falcon because that would be about where the batteries are, if I'm not mistaken. And let me see if I can get this little piece to pop out. It's been a while since I opened this. I want to make sure I'm not forcing any parts. There we go. So here are some of the components. Oh, including there was a missing sticker on top. Cool, I need to get some double-sided tape and reapply that, I guess. So I put that in a Ziploc bag the last time I was putting these away. All right, you stay there then. Then you had turrets that could go on the top and the bottom, which was an innovation that the 3 3/4 inch Falcon lacked. And you could also have a full environment. So you've got the elevator here that Lando can get in, and then he can go up to the next level. And then I don't think you had the smuggling compartments because they changed the design on how the landing gear retract. But you could go all the way from here up into the cockpit, which I felt was something that the 3 3/4 inch version could have had as well. So, anyway, back to Decatur. I had ordered this piece from a toy shop catalog seller, possibly Jeff Freeman at Falcon's Hanger, who I've mentioned many times, and the fact that he kept misspelling hanger, even after we told him that's not how you spell hanger. He spelled it with an E. So this was on its way to me, and I think I spent, the number that pops to mind is $200, which probably that's the only time I would have spent that amount of money is when I had no bills, and I just had liquid income like that. But while I was in Decatur, they put me up in a hotel, and I was there for about 2 weeks, and by very early in the week, you were already on overtime. So the amount they were paying you as a trainer, then you were on time and a half. And I remember one day, one of the managers in store asked me to come in and work on my off day. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I'm not doing it. Otherwise, I would just hang out at the hotel all day. Sure. So I come in, and the minute that the corporate guy saw me, he was like, oh, you're just going to come in and steal my money? And I'm like, I was asked, and the manager that had asked me to come in, he like fell on the sword, and he told me later, he said, I took that bullet because that bullet was meant for me. I was the one that asked you to come in and work on your off day. But yeah, one day they brought the trainees in for just a little while, and then they left, and there was no space on our planner that day for lunch. And what it was they just got the kitchen up and running, and so they did bread. They cooked the world famous Red Lobster garlic cheese biscuits and clam chowder, and they let the trainees sample it and then dismissed them. And that was our entire meal break that day, was eat the leftover chowder and the biscuits. I'd never eaten clam chowder until then. I'd worked at Red Lobster, but I'd never tried the clam chowder. I'm like, oh, this is so good. This is delicious. This is the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. Eddie Murphy about the crackers, And so I'm really, I have to have, if I eat clam chowder today, I have to dip a biscuit in it because that's how I first tried it. So those two things have to go together for me. So the 2 weeks that I was there, I phoned back, and I was told either by my mom, I guess, or might have been my first wife, who we were first dating at around that time. And they were like, yeah, you got a package in the mail. I'm like, oh, my package has arrived. It's my Millennium Falcon from the Micro Collection, one of the toys that I didn't own as a kid. So I was 23 when I got the Micro Collection Millennium Falcon, and I was, making money and able to buy things like that. So that's everything vintage for the Micro Collection except for the little characters. And let's put these turrets on the Falcon. I think they have to be taken in half. So around that time was when I was filming Whoever Dies with the Most Toys Wins video. I can't for the life of me get this apart, and I don't want to break a peg. There we go. I had been exclusively using the Falcon from the 3 3/4 inch collection up to that point. And then suddenly, around the time that they are leaving the Death Star and arriving at Yavin, suddenly there's a shot using this toy instead of the full-size toy. And what I did was I took a coat hanger, a real rigid, kind of thick coat hanger, metal coat hanger, and I wrapped it around something and hooked this toy. And then the shot actually was in my parents' backyard against monkey grass. And so I was just sort of filming like this lush jungle vegetation, but I used the fact that the monkey grass would hide the rod. So I had this tilted up. I had the camera over there and rolled camera, VHS, my Panasonic PV700, and I lowered the Falcon into the shot. Instead of like suspending it from wires, it was actually a rod coming straight out the back, hidden from view by the Falcon itself, and you couldn't see the track that it was moving through because that was the actual blades of the monkey grass. So there's a shot of it landing, and I think a shot of it taking off from Yavin that were accomplished using this instead of the full-size Falcon. Also around the same time was when I bought the Palatoy Toll Toys Death Star, which appears like midway through Whoever Dies with the Most Toys Wins. I did not have it originally. So there's the completed Falcon, except for that one sticker that had fallen off right there. So ta-da, there it is. I hope these can be cut down and take out some of the ums and ahs and pauses. So I guess we're rolling over into chapter 4 of this particular tale. My Toyaholic Micro Collection Mississippi Memories. Thanks for watching.